Hi, and welcome back to Two Bears Trekking. Today we are going to be talking about probably one of the most well-known, maybe one of the most popular campgrounds in Florida's water management districts.
But we have an announcement too.
We do?
Well, at the end.
Oh, you are so mean. All right. So it is DuPuis Equestrian Campground in Canal Point, Florida.
DuPuis.
I did a walk around there again, like I've done before.
And I've watched it. I think it's amazing. So watch it with us. Here we go.
Okay, so the DuPuis Equestrian Campground is located at 24500 Southwest Canner Highway, Canal Point, 10 miles to the west from Indiantown. It is hosted, so there's a campground host where you have to check in. You don't necessarily have to do it right away. They were out shopping when I first got there. All the rules are posted there at the beginning. When you go in, you want to go straight ahead, because if you go to that left fork, that is part of the equestrian campground. And then all this area on the right that you see, all this open area, is also part of the equestrian area. So you'll see sometimes it's busier than others here at the equestrian section.
I mean, it looks like a very beautiful park, a beautiful place. I mean, all the trees and everything. I thought it was really nice.
It is. And anyone can use these picnic pavilions. So even if you got just a day pass, or if you have a group of people, you can go ahead and utilize those as well.
So many amenities. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
so,
noticing.
and that is the great thing about this. And there is a mix of treed and shady spots, as you'll see as we walk through. So this is where you start to see, right, on the right-hand side, the RV spots, the regular part of the campground. And they have recently sort of separated the equestrian and non-equestrian parts of these campgrounds. So straight ahead to the left there, you can see the host, and we'll get a better look later. But you'll come up to this stop sign. A lot of people just park there right there and then run over to the host and check in. If not, the host comes around and they will check you in later, so you don't have to actually stop. So you take a right-hand turn at that stop sign, and this is basically now just going to be a loop. All of these sites on the right-hand side, I would say, are part sun, part shade, and they can accommodate bigger rigs, which is nice. And they're close enough together. I saw like families, and if you're towing a vehicle as well, this is a great spot for you. It's semi-private, but no, these are the closest, and they back to the road. Even though there's that big equestrian field between you and the road, you still can hear a little bit of traffic noise from the road. You'll notice the sites are marked with markers, so they all have a site number. And you'll need to give that site number eventually to the host, which is why I almost think it's easier to sort of check in later.
There you go, once you find a place.
Now, this has an 8-day limit, 30 days in a calendar year, but you can have as many reservations at one time as you'd like. I can tell you, the people, it's mostly enforced with the host, but I don't know, because these people were there longer. Now, this is the bathhouse. That is the entrance to the hot showers there. They had to fix them, and they did reopen in the time that I was there. Not exactly clean and well kept, but it is a hot shower.
A hot shower, that's not a bad thing.
On the back side is the restroom, which is very well kept and clean, and the host always had soap in there. And this is the handicap stall, so it's great. Plenty of room to change and whatever you need to do there as well. Now, off that side road,
The one coming up to the right here.
yes, that you see on the right-hand side, there are a few sites there. And again, they're closer to the traffic noise. You're going to see the ones on the left are a little bit smaller, so they're not really for big rigs. But there is kind of a secret little spot that is sweet. And even though it's close to the restroom, it's a little bit treed. And that tree is a bit low lying there. So you can creatively get in there with a small to medium-sized rig and have some privacy.
Hmm.
Now, this is the other part of the loop. You'll just kind of go around, and these sites off to the left, there's another picnic pavilion there. They are more open, so you will get some sun, although they are not the sunniest spots.
Hmm.
Um,
Well, especially people with solar really want to know where the best spot is.
exactly, because there's no electric hookups here, right? I mean, there's everything else,
Hmm.
but not that. These sites towards the back on that left-hand side, they aren't exactly level, and they're a little bit softer. So they're great for big rigs, though, for like fifth wheels and large trailers, etc. You can see the rig in the background there. It is in probably what I think is the shadiest spot in this location. And it's not completely shaded and all day, but it's shaded enough where you can just open the windows. And because just to the west of this is Lake Okeechobee, you get the nice breeze sort of wafting in very frequently, and it just creates a nice breeze, and have those windows open, and when you're in the shade, it's just really nice.
Well, sounds very pleasant. It is. I mean, because I wasn't here with you when you did this. This is your gig. But everything I see about this, I'm hoping that we go see this when and stay there, this coming fall.
We will, because it, like I said, it's very convenient with the amenities there. And coming around the back here, these are a bit sunny as well. You can pull some bigger rigs, and some of these are wider sites on that backside that you see straight ahead. And then there's a small site tucked in right on the left for a smaller rig. And here's where it kind of gets a little bit more compact. You can see the rig there. Off to the right, all of those sites are going to be a bit smaller, but they back again to nothing. And this is the farthest area away from that road noise, which was also a plus.
So smaller rigs like vans and whatever would fit perfectly here.
Yeah, exactly. And you'll see that's what mostly was there. Now, each of these sites is equipped with a picnic table and a fire ring. So very convenient.
Yeah. Well, you said fire ring as well. How many amenities does this place have?
Exactly.
I mean, really.
And so you can see why it is so popular.
Mm-hmm.
So there's also hiking trails here. So on that right side, across that field, that is where the hiking and equestrian trail goes, and then it sort of branches off, and it is soft and sandy. So I did hike a bit, but it became a little bit challenging, especially in that heat and it's full sun, and you're like, "Whoa, I want to get back to my shady spot."
There you go. There you go. Cool off a little bit. Mm-hmm.
Now you can see off to the left here. Here's the other side of that particular open field. And so if you're with a group, that is a great area on that left side. When I filmed this, it had been quiet prior to that, but this particular few days, there was a whole group of, I think they were EMTs or something, getting together, and there must have been like 20 or more of them. So it was a bit noisy. Otherwise, you would see all that space open, and people could enjoy that as well. All of this is potable water, and it's on a well system. You can see the system there. And on the right-hand side, probably this is the best spot to get sun if you need the solar. And these are large spots, and they were frequently all taken. So we're going to get a better look at the field behind that in a moment. But you can see everything is walkable within this area. And
now, what is the distance approximately of this loop?
I would say it's probably something like a quarter of a mile, if you walk it all, which I did many times. And it's nice. It still does get warm, but like I said earlier, those breezes make it bearable.
Makes it helpful.
So as we finish up that loop and come around here on the right-hand side, you're going to see in the back, sort of behind the host and going to the equestrian side of the campground, you can see the host right there. You'll see some folks, and that is all part of the equestrian area as well. So that is a wide open area if you are equestrian camping. So you can see coming up right beyond the host, and they were great. I had many conversations with them. So if you see that rig still there, they're really nice people, and make sure you stop in and say hi. This is the equestrian area restroom. Now, it's separated, men's, women's area, and inside it's kind of small, and those stalls are small. You'll see in just a second. And there's a small shower, but it's a little bit cleaner. But you have to kind of be creative about, how you get dressed. There was a guy who just locked the entire restroom and locked people out, which was kind of weird. But
Yeah.
But you can make it all work if you want to use that.
Do you think that's because the host is right there that it's so clean?
Yes, yes, I do suspect that. And I think the other one just didn't have a lot of maintenance. Along the equestrian area, that's where you will find most of your water spigots, and you can fill up your water tanks with water. So many people do it while we're there. There are actually 2 barns if you're equestrian camping, one on either side of this road, one set back, and then one just on the left-hand side there. And there's also a great thing about here. There's trash dumpsters. So you don't have to worry about packing out your trash. Convenient, always plenty of room in there, and they keep that maintained. So see that right there.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I mean, yeah, I keep hearing amenity after amenity after amenity, and this sounds like a wonderful place.
Yes, it was. Again, it's unusual to find this many amenities, and they're not done yet. You can see more water spigots along here, where you can fill up your rig, but there's plenty of space. I will say it was full a lot of the time. It didn't feel overwhelming, except for when that group of 20 guys was there, and it was crazy. But they were respectful, and they respected the quiet hours. And the hosts here definitely do, and that is one of the great parts. They do enforce quiet hours and make sure you have a reservation and whatnot. So that does help immensely. All right, so now we're coming back up towards that entrance exit gate, which of course is padlocked with a combination. It is a short entrance area, so if you have a big rig and you're towing something, you might be hanging out into the road a little bit when you're coming into that gate. But right here on the right-hand side, and you do have to do some fancy maneuvering to get in there, is a dump station.
Dump station, thank you.
So you can fill, dump, take hot showers, flush toilets.
Have water, yeah.
It's simply amazing. All right, so hopefully you enjoyed that.
Yeah, so here's a question. What did you dislike about this? Because it was pretty amazing.
So if you've noticed, while I was walking around, there's not a ton of privacy. The spots are a little bit closer. While there are some trees and some shaded spots, it has a more wide open feel.
So what do you like about it? Besides, I mean, I personally, I thought this should have been number 1. I was amazed that this is a free place.
Well, obviously the hot showers.
Oh, yeah.
That was probably the best part. But, and the second best thing, which isn't going to apply to most people, but there was an actual mailbox there. So I could mail my eBay stuff there. I put in a pickup request, and I didn't have to go out to the post office.
That's convenient, that's for sure. If you want to mail stuff, there you go. So, are you going to give the announcement, or am I?
I suppose
Because you've been waiting, I know you have.
I suppose I will.
Okay.
So, this is the last water management district campground review that we are going to do this year.
Oh.
Yes, because they haven't been as popular. There really haven't been as much views. So we're going to focus on those videos that do reach more people. Because as we said before, that is our goal, to help as many people as possible.
Now, if you have more questions with regards to water management districts, this man knows what he's talking about.
Yes.
So drop us an email, drop us a, communicate with us, and he'll answer questions.
Yeah, and don't give up, because we will do a couple of more next year. So make sure you're subscribed, and in the meantime,
keep on trekking.